Hi, Carlos.
How are you?
My name is Ravi, and I'm from Webfit News.
Yes.
And first of all, before we get started, I want to thank you for your time. And thank you so much for taking out time from your busy schedule and responding to our emails.
No, you're welcome. It's a pleasure for me to meet you, and let's do the program started. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So I have written a couple of questions for you because I don't get deviated. So for people meeting you for the first time, how do you introduce yourself? Scientist, entrepreneur, or an MP?
Well, I guess depends on who are they. Like when I'm doing some engagement, when I back to university, I will say that I'm a scientist. Or if I was talking with health professional, I will try to tell them my background is on health as well. But when I try to engage with other people, I also say that I'm just a servant. I'm just here to serve the people as well. But also with my role as an MP, I managed to reach out to more resources, and I can do a better job for other people as well.
Right.
So I think it really depends on who I'm talking to. Yeah.
Definitely makes sense. So when you relate yourself, so does any of these backgrounds helps you in your doing your daily routine job?
Yes, I think all this background actually play a very important role and shape who I am right now. I always say that from when I was a scientist, I was more like academic background, and after that I become more business person, and now I become a politician. So they are all very different field. So that allow me to develop myself and see things very different. I always make a jokes on myself, say, oh, now after I become a business person, I can see why my project or my grant wasn't approved when I was in science, because maybe we are too focused on academic, which forget about sometimes really to commercial return as well. But as a businessman, you see things a little bit different. Now you become a politician. I think my vision, the thing I see stuff or value stuff is even very different now. So I can look at it at a different angle.
Right. So since you have covered so many journeys, as a student, as a scientist, so are you saying to our audience that if somebody is willing to go towards becoming a scientist, and if they need any guidance, they can always reach out to you?
Yes, I mean, obviously I studied in University of Auckland for almost 12 years. So I think I do have enough experience to give a little bit of advice to people as well. Especially when a lot of youth come over to see me say, hey, Carlos, should I do a master's degree or should I do a PhD degree as well? I may able to give them some advice whether they should pursue the education as well.
Right. Now coming to the final one which you're doing at the moment, yes. Why politicians? Well, why do you want to become that? Yeah.
I think it's always the old say, it's about the people. I never thought myself to be a politician. Like you mentioned, I was a scientist, I was a business person. So they are very different compared to politician. But my story is always like this. When the time I need to change myself from academic to business, I got a very rough transition period. And obviously, academic environment is very different with the business world, especially on my academic field is more like drug development or a little bit to medical research. You're always thinking you're going to make a difference. You always think your project is going to save the world or try to treat someone with diabetes in my case. So it's a very meaningful job. But suddenly when you change the business world, I think people see you different, they judge you different. And sometimes some of the work you think may only bring money or bring food to the table, but maybe less meaningful. So I do have a very tough transition period, ask myself why. Like, I spent almost 12 years on education or as a master, PhD, high qualified person, and suddenly doing something very completely different, which you may not need a very high educational background to do it. So I asked myself why, and this is the time when I start doing a lot of volunteer as well in my electorate, because I think I can help people. I can use my past experience to help people to achieve success as well. And I think on that 7 years journey as a volunteer, I see different things. And I think, I really want to make a change for them. How can I help them to achieve to the next level, to reach success? And I ask myself, maybe I have ability to move to the next level and make changes as well. So, and then this is the reason why I put my hands up as a politician.
Right. Very well said, and very nicely you connected, all the roles to what you're doing at the moment. So which is your favorite Carlos? Carlos the husband, Carlos the father, or Carlos the MP?
I think I'm always proud to be a father and also to a husband to my wife and a father to my daughter and husband to my wife as well. I always say that MP is. I don't think there's a very different between being an MP or being a normal people. I think we all play an important role in our society, and the only difference is my job may be in the parliament, set up legislation, but everyone in the society actually play a very important role. So, but if so, when my answer to you is which title I prefer or which role I'd be more proud of, I think I'll be more proud of being a father and being a husband.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you so much for that answer. Now, moving forward, what part of your journey from Hong Kong to New Zealand shaped you the most?
Oh, I think it's like very similar to a lot of the immigrant. When I first come here, we facing different challenges. Like for example, we got language barrier, cultural differences. Even the lifestyle is very different between Hong Kong and New Zealand as well. And there's a lot of obstacles we need to overcome. And I think that journey actually built my resilience and also helped me to make sure I keep working hard, to motivate me to keep work hard, so I can work 120% so I can reach success. I think that is the important part what I learned from when during the transition period when I come from Hong Kong and come here as well. But also I think my background in Hong Kong or those years I grew in Hong Kong actually give me a little bit different aspect as a politician as well. Because I always say that it's important to go outside the world to see different things and try to learn the best thing from other country and bring it back to New Zealand. So for example, in transport networking, I think Hong Kong have one of the best public transport network in the world, and this is something I can actually refer back to when I'm doing my job as an MP as well.
Right. So there's a lot of learning you can bring from there to our country.
Yes. Right. I think it's just for a lot of migrants, we all bring a little bit something different and something special to this country, and because of this, we group together and make this country the best country in the world.
Definitely. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much for that answer. Now, you earned a PhD in biological science. What pushed you to walk away from academia?
So, I mean, I've been mentioned a few times. Obviously, it's the research environment in New Zealand during my time heavily rely on government funding. So 95% of all my colleagues, when they finish their PhD or master, they need to actually work overseas or go overseas for further career. And I'm the one very lucky one. I managed to stay for a few years before I need to make a decision whether I want to go overseas to continue my career or I need to change something different. And I think that time, family play a very important part of that decision. When you're single, you can make a decision very easy. You can go to the country you want, you can pursue your career. But when you have a family, you need to start thinking, what is the best for my family? And that time, I think a lot of people know that my wife is also as a pharmacist. So I think it will be easier for her to get a job here, because if I decide to go to other country to continue my research, so it will be, there's a factor there, a family factor, say, what we need to do, how is it she need to change her occupation as well, or need to do something to do, because we all know that sometimes pharmacists, they are licensed in different country. When you're licensed pharmacy in New Zealand, doesn't mean that you can go back to your other country to work at the same professions. So I think there's a lot of factors I need to think of, and I need to think what's the best for my family as well. And then I decide maybe it's time for me to try something different. Maybe I start a different career, so that I think this is the best thing. And I think partially is also because I've been staying here as well. I think I love New Zealand. I think this is my home as well. Right. And I do really want to stay. And one thing I know that in New Zealand, as long as you work hard, no matter what industry or what sector you're involved in, you will still able to achieve success. I think there's something a very important factor when I was thinking what to do in my future. Because we know that in some country, I think it's very competitive. And sometimes it's not only when you work hard, you will reach success. But at least in New Zealand, when you're willing to work hard, you will success.
Right. So the gist of the story, one thing I can understand that the thank you should go to your wife because of that. You chose to this path. Yeah.
But I mean, it's a big decision made by both of us.
Right.
Because as I say, when you have a family, you need to think what's best for each other as well.
Right. Yeah, of course. If you can think about your family, you must be, having that sensitiveness for other family as well, which is really good. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Now, what was the turning point that made you to move from research to business?
Well, as I say, 95% of my colleagues they need to go overseas to continue the career. So I kind of expected these days will come. So I kind of prepare myself. Hey, when the time is arrived, what should I do? Like other people, I did try to apply for other jobs as well. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people say that, oh, you are too old to start as a junior post if you want to try other sector, or if you are too green, not inexperienced for being a manager role as well. So I think I'm actually in that crossroad at that stage, because when I need to change my occupation, I think I was around early 30.
Okay.
So, like I say, too old as a junior post, but not enough experience to become a management role as well.
Okay, thank you so much for that answer, Carlos. That was really nice. Now I wanted to understand, from you that when did you first start thinking about, that okay, this is the area, because Mount Roskill is the one area where you were staying, right? So I think that was an obvious choice. So what made you to fall into, you came into radar of a national, I'll say, because you always had an option, right? I know you were playing a role of a volunteer for quite some time. So what was that incarnation which makes you feel that, okay, national is the one party which I should go with?
I think this actually go back to my background as well. As I think most of the Asian will always believe that the only way to break the poverty cycle is by working hard, by high education as well. So it's about good education and also a good work ethics as well. And we make sure we work hard. I think that aligned to my national party values. We believe that everyone work hard, they should have the reward as well. So this is why I want to choose national. It's because I think for a lot of young children we can meet in our local area, they are very talented. They got heaps of potential.
Right.
So it's more like how to help them to achieve to the next level. I think it's by education and by job opportunity. I think those two are the most important thing in order for our next generation to success. And I think they align to the National Party values.
Okay, and that's where...
This is why I choose national. Yes.
Okay. So what was the one, was it a one night or 1 week where you just thought about it and said, yeah, this is the way, let's do that. So what was that one moment, and did you discuss it with family or friends? Was there any confusion? You want to just talk about one moment where you decided that, yes,
I want to be a politician.
Yes.
I think it's at this stage. I think there's kind of 1 year before the election. As I say, I've been working as a volunteer on the ground for a few years. I actually do a lot of food boxes. I set up a refugee learning center as well.
Okay.
We do a lot of, we got a career day. We do a lot of education program. We provide helping out in free kind as well, so free food to people.
So I'm sorry to interrupt you. So all this you did while being an MP or before being an
MP? That was before my MP. So this is when great. I was doing being a volunteer.
Volunteer work.
So as I say, that time I want to use my my
potential,
my experience or my specialties to try to help my next generation. So I was helping, sometimes or helping packing food boxes. I set up a refugee learning center as well. So on Saturday, we kind of give some kids some tutorial, because we know that some of the refugees, when they come here, no matter what reason it is, sometimes they are fall behind on the education system. So we try to give them a hand as well. We do educational career program for young children as well. So just want to give them some vision. Hey, this is how the pathway. If you want, for example, if you want to be a scientist, what steps you need to do in order to be a scientist? Because sometimes people just don't know what is the next step they need to do in order to become who they want to be. Right. So I actually do quite a lot of different kind of volunteer work, and I've been thinking about the people who come to collect those food boxes are the same family in the past 7 years. Like you give them food boxes, you teach them how to do money management, or some of them you give them a cooking class, give them free food, education, but nothing really changed. They still struggle daily,
right?
And they still need to come to collect food boxes, or they need the access from people, from us, and I try to ask myself, what other stuff I can do in order to help them. But like I mentioned before, everything I think of, there's already some charity or some government organization have been doing it already. So you know that there's nothing more you can do on this ground level. So I think, yes, if I can't do anything in this level now, maybe it's the time for me to put my hands up and see whether I can go to the next level and I can make a change for people. And that's the moment I decide to put my hands up, because partially is I can't think of any other stuff I can do to actually help them to change their life or to break the poverty cycle. So I think maybe it's time to move to the next level. Maybe we can change from structural changes or some education reform, so we can actually help them to actually improve their life as well.
So how often are you involved now into these volunteer work? Because you have a very busy schedule all the time.
Yes. So actually got a very, very big, busy schedule. So obviously I still do, I still got to do a lot of packing of food boxes, not regularly, but if I got time, I will try to go. But I think, as I say, when I decided to put my hands up, I think I want to change it at different level. So those projects are still ongoing. We still got some friends or some of my volunteers actually pick up store project. They are working on it as well. But it's more like, how can I use my the different title or the legwork to actually make additional changes to people? Like, for example, I remember when my first year as an MP, I visited some of the retirement village or rest home. One of the people raised it to me and said, "Hey, Carlos," I asked them, "Hey, what is the major issues or what's your concern living here? And is it health concern or going to hospital? Is it those when you see GP, is it hard to reach out to your GP?" They're not. They said, "Hey, Carlos, it's nothing about health. It's nothing about our body. It's the loneliness."
Right.
Especially during the weekdays as well. Weekends, the family member can come to visit them. But during the weekdays, they are relatively quiet and no one actually show enough care to them. And then that's the time, as an MP, I realized, yes, I need to do something. And so I contact some of the people in my church. They managed to organize, they finally established a caring group. So now they go in there every Wednesday and spend almost 2 hours talking with them, to make them feel, make their life a little bit interesting or someone to talk to. So this is a different kind of work I've been doing as an MP, because when you are MP, you can reach out to more people. You can actually get different resources as well. And it's my job. I think I can collect them and helping the people here as well. Or we also say that there's a few more projects I have been achieved as well. For example, have you heard about the CPNZ, like Community Petrol NZ? So they are petroling and they're volunteers actually driving petrol cars, like try to keep our community safe.
Okay.
So I remember before I become an MP, I try to help them. because they lost their petrol car in the Auckland anniversary flooding. So the only petrol car in our Mount Roskill are lost. They can't afford to buy a new one. So when I try to ask my a lot of people say, hey, do you guys have maybe have extra resources that you can contribute or you can donate a car for them? People will ask sometimes say, who are you? Is the organization legit? Like, but when you become an MP, when you say the same thing, people will trust you because they know that you're an MP, you're trustworthy. When you say that this organization are doing good thing for your community, they believe in you. And that will make it much easier to obtain the resource for them. And I'm very happy to actually obtain not one but 2 petrol car for the CPNZ. So now they actually can keep our community safe by driving around at nighttime and working with the police as well.
No, many congratulations for doing that. Thank you so much for that. But I wanted to go back, since you said that now being MP, if you say a few things, things will be taken seriously. You yourself said that, when you were a scientist, you were waiting for the grant and sometimes the grant get rejected. So as an MP, or you said, also that you only had choice to either go to another country and continue your research. But as an MP, did you do anything about that? That now if somebody is doing the trying to get into scientists, they don't have to leave the country, or the grant part. Any of these, did you try to solve it, or did you try to work on it?
This is one thing. As an MP, as a former scientist, I try to advocate for my colleagues as well. How can we change the sector?
Right.
Well, as I say, one thing about this sector is most of the funding mainly rely on government funding. But for me, I believe that if this sector need to keep growing, we need to bring some commercial investment into New Zealand. And I think that's very important to change the model. Instead of fully funded by government, how about we get some commercial funding come here and continue to provide job opportunity for our outstanding scientists. And I think that's something I've been, discussed with my minister as well. How can we change the sector? And, obviously in the past 24 months, there's some announcement on how the sector being changed, how the funding model being changed as well. And I think that one of the important also is how to let people know that how successful is our local scientists, how great is their project, so that they can much easier to obtain funding or obtain investment from overseas. I think that is something I've been working on.
Right, because Carlos, why I asked this question is, rather giving food to a hungry person, we should be arranging that why that person doesn't have a food.
That's right.
If we work on that, so I'm not sure, I have to be neutral. So I'm not sure how much we are actually working on it. And on the same way, since you face the challenge and you know the taste of that and you understand the kind of feeling you get when you have a struggle. So if you are working seriously, and you're trying to resolve that is something is a big problem, and if your government is working, which is really nice. So we will, try to get that more updates going forward. And how are things progressing? I'm sure if you have started a conversation, it will reach somewhere, right?
Yes. So obviously, one thing we're very proud of is we kind of reformed the education system. Because as a migrant myself, I got we experienced very different education system. In our original country, our education system are quite competitive and quite intense as well.
Right.
In here, we probably on the other end, which is more relaxed as well. But one thing I know that is, as I say, our people are very talented and full of potential. There's no way we should lower our standard. We should keep raising our standard.
Right.
So our kids can be even much better equipped for their future. One thing I understand is this is a global world now.
Right.
We are not only competing within New Zealand. We need to compete in a global stage.
Right.
And it's very important to equip our kids. Not only they have the capacity or ability to compete in New Zealand, but also have the ability to compete globally. And I think that's very important. We actually reform our education standards so we can raise our standard so we can equip our kids for a better future.
Right. Thoughts are nice, but on reality, how much we are actually getting it. So that is what matters.
Yes.
But yeah, looking forward to. Thank you so much for that. Now, I'm just trying to go back to our own people, the Mount Roskill people. Okay. So I wanted to understand what was going through your mind when you realized that you had flipped Mount Roskill.
I don't actually have much thought in my mind at that moment. For me, I just realized now I will become the MP. I have a responsible to advocate for my people.
Right.
And I have to make sure I can achieve what I want to achieve. I want to help them to have a better life. So this is something in my mind, like what I need to do in the next 3 years to achieve those initiatives. I think this is the first thing quickly in my mind, because now it's different role now.
Right.
And how can I repay their faith in me? Because like you say, I'm the first National Party MP to flip Mount Roskill into blue. And I think this is the first thing, is how can I repay their faith to make sure they are not regret at their choice, or make sure I'm actually doing what they expected. I think this is the first thing probably jumped into my mind.
Right. Well, thank you so much for that answer. Now, what do you believe was the single biggest reason voters swung 22 points towards you? Short answer.
I think there's a lot of things people are feel unhappy at that time. I think there's, like, for example, I think that time when the COVID crisis, we just go through the whole crisis, a lot of things not going as planned. Especially, I think, if you ask me one thing, I think it's the law and order is the big thing.
Law and order.
I remember during that time, crime is go out of control.
Right.
Rain rate basically is almost happen on the news every single week.
Right.
And I think people lost confidence in the previous government that they can actually restore law and order in our country. And also, I think a lot of people, including people in Mount Roskill, a lot of migrants, they believe that we need to be tough on crime. Our soft approach on crime doesn't work anymore. And a lot of people are suffer because of their soft approach on crime. So I think they ask for changes. And I think that's one of the reasons. But for me, I don't think there's a one particular reason why I can flip this to blue. But I think it's a lot of factors kick in as well. As I say, there can be, the cost of living, the law and order, a lot of things. I think they put together, and I think they use the action to show that they are not happy about the approach the previous government have been using.
Right. So one thing I can congratulate you, for reducing the RAM rate, which is really appreciated, because I myself have experienced that. And now we all can agree, there's no bias in that it's the news is very less. If it used to be 10, then it's now 2, which is really good. Thank you so much for that. And how much did the controversy around the former MP influences the final result?
So it's again?
So the question is, how much did the controversy around the former MP influence the final result?
Well, as I say, I don't actually judge or make comment on my opponent or former MP, because I think I always say that different MP are.
What did you learn about the Mount Roskill voters during that campaign that surprised you?
They surprised me. I don't actually get surprised by during the campaign. As I say, I live here for more than 15 years, and I've been working as a volunteer. So I know my electorate quite well. So I don't think there's anything actually can surprise me during the campaign. Like, as I say, the reason I put my hands up as a politician is for the people from Mount Roskill.
Right.
So I know them very well. I know what is the needs for the people. And I think a lot of things what people tell me are maybe different, maybe new to me, but I don't think I will use the term surprise.
Right. No, good way. I was just trying to understand. No issues, all good. Now, Why did you choose to highlight illegal dirt bikes as one of your first action in Parliament?
Illegal dirt bike. Yes. Actually, when I get first elected, this electorate actually have a few dirt bike issues in our electorate. So those dirt bike have been illegally driving on the road. They actually driving into the park during, some people when they're playing a cricket game, suddenly there's a dirt bike coming down as well. They're actually causing a lot of issues for my local people.
All right.
Not only the noise they're actually producing, but also the safety as well.
Exactly.
Imagine if you've got a field dirt bike driving into the park when you are actually playing cricket or you're playing rugby. This is unacceptable. And they're actually causing a lot of problem in my electorate as well. They driving on the road without any rules. So I think this is one of the things I want to focus on as well. I talk to the police. What's the approach? How can I identify them to make sure they don't cause any trouble to my local constituent at all?
No, definitely. That is something which, and I'm sure you must have been successful. And so, how often do you see now, or it's like completely stopped?
I think after what we work on with the police, I think the issues was kind of quiet down. There's a lot of good feedback coming and say, hey, we don't see the dirt bike. So at least when you're coming here today, I don't think you see a dirt bike driving around.
Yeah.
But I think from time to time, we still got one or two individual may still causing a bit of trouble. And I think this is something we need to continue to work on to make sure that not getting worse or causing more problem to my constituent.
Definitely. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, sure. Now, with rising costs hitting every household, what relief do Mount Roskill families want most?
I think cost of living is a big thing, but also I think people in Mount Roskill also look for job opportunity as well.
Right.
Because our electorate is very diverse. A lot of us are born overseas. So we got more than half of the population in my Mount Roskill are born overseas. And job opportunity is one of the big things.
Right.
We come here as a migrant. We love this country. We want to contribute this country. But the important is we want to have the same opportunity, job opportunity as well.
Right.
One thing a lot of my constituents facing may be certain kind of discrimination, especially when we apply for jobs. We may face more difficulties compared to others as well. And I think this is one of the things my constituents have been raising their voice very strongly is the job opportunity for them.
Right. Thank you so much for that. So, of course, we will be able to see some result, as part of the action.
Yes, I think that's not only the legislation-wise, but I think overall we need to have more understanding between each other as well to create a harmony, a better social cohesion as well. Because as I say, a lot of the times for migrant like us, we go there, we're being judged by our appearance, not judged by our ability or character. And I think this is not acceptable. We should be judged by we should all have the same equal opportunities, and we should able to pay our part to contribute to this country. We shouldn't be judged by our skin color or the accent maybe when we speaking speaking as well. So I think that's very important.
Right. Thank you so much for that. Now, how do you protect your family life while working in such a public and demanding role?
Yes, I think it's a very challenging. So, like a lot of times, I may not be in Auckland. I'll be in Wellington during the Parliament sitting day. So I'll still try to balance my family life and my parliamentary MP life as well. Because I'm a people, if you know me well, people know that I'm a very strong family man. I loved, before I become a politician, I actually spend a lot of time with my daughter and my wife as well. So even now I become a politician, I will try to try my best to find time to spend time with them. For example, I remember one time, I only got 1 hour's gap between the periods and the next event. I will still try to meet up with them, to spend a little bit of time with them. I think that's very important.
Right.
Because remember, one thing is we try to serve the country, but also as a husband, as a father, I have a responsibility to look after my family as well.
Right. No, thank you so much for that, and that quite makes that you are very attached to your family. Thank you so much for that. Now, I wanted to understand, from your point of view, that if somebody wants to get into politics, so is it the way that they should try first become a researcher, a scientist, and then get into a business, and then, or is there any other way?
I think different people is different.
Exactly.
There's no a correct pathway or standard pathway to become a politician. I always say that different MP is different. We advocate for different things.
Right.
I may be the one who advocate for the people for Mount Roskill. But some of my colleagues maybe they advocate for farmers because the electorate got a lot of farmers. So you can't be an MP as a science background in those areas as well because it doesn't reflect who they advocate for.
Right.
So I don't think there's a standard pathway for being MP, but I think there's a common character to become an MP is you need to have the passion to serve.
Right.
You need to know that you're here is to serving the people, not try to get spotlight or don't treat it as a career thing. You're here to serve the people. I think you need to have that mindset in order to be a good MP.
Right. No, very well said. Thank you so much for that. Now, what values from your cultural background guide you work as an MP?
I think it's still my religious background will still play a part of it as well. Probably a lot of people know that I'm a Christian, so I believe that certain rules I won't cross, a certain line I won't cross. Also, I think it's as a father as well. I always say that being a father actually shape who am I as well.
Right.
What kind of MP I want to be seen by my daughter. I think that's very important.
Right.
You want to set up as a father, you always want to set up a good example for your kids. And I think that kind of guide me or help me to make sure I'm continue to do my job. Don't and I think that's very important because sometimes a lot of people will say that hey, as a politician, when you be after a while you start losing yourself. You may do something which is not your initiative. And I think my family will always keep me in check, make sure I'm still who I am. I still always remind myself why I want to be a politician. I want to be a politician because I want to make a change for the people in Mount Roskill. So this is probably reason when you check on my Facebook, you can see I'm very active in my local community. But compared to other MP, maybe that's a little bit different.
Right.
But I always need to remember what is the reason why I want to be a politician.
Exactly. No, I'll congratulate you for, I know that you have always been, available to all the community event, which I really appreciate because you giving your time to their celebration, that makes a lot of difference. And a lot of, kudos to you for that.
But I think this is not completely correct. I think it's both ways.
Right.
I also benefit by going to those events as well because I have the chance to actually engage with people and talk to them and listen to their needs as well. And also one thing is when you go to a lot of events, when you understand them more, understand the culture more, it actually helped me to do my job as well. So I think it's both ways. Not only say they are happy to have me or I take time to attend the event. It's not like this. I think it's both ways. I think that benefit both ways.
Both ways, right? No, definitely. Thank you so much. And I have seen you actually from far away that how you interact and how friendly you are. So kudos to you, man. Thank you. Yeah. Now, what do you want your legacy in Mount Roskill to be at the end of this term?
I think no matter what's the result for the next election, I think people will remember me say, Carlos have been working very hard for the people in Mount Roskill. Some of the initiatives he do actually make a difference. Right. For example, I've been doing the student art showcase. So I organized the art show for all the schools. So allow the student to showcase their artwork to people. I think that's a very positive to keep encouraging our next generation to stay on track, to do whatever they love to do. I want to have a legacy like that. People say, on that whatever time Carlos serving my MP, he's been doing his best. He's been working very hard, and that actually make a difference to their life.
Right. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Now, what will success look like for you in 3 years?
I think for me, if I start seeing people come to see me say, hey, Carlos, because of your initiative, because of the way you work, actually help me to become who they are or getting more successful.
Right.
I think that will be my goal. I will be very happy on that. Like, for example, like some people will come to see me and say, hey, I'm still very happy that time when I see my artwork was shown publicly, or like before, I organized a few job fair and also industrial insight day as well. Those young kids come back to me and say, hey, Carlos, I actually benefit from that seminar. I benefit from that event. I was able to find a part-time job because of you. And that experience actually helped them in the future. And I think that will be there's something I really want to see.
Right. Definitely. What is the one thing you did after joining, like which you're really proud of, and you just want to talk about it and say that, hey, you know what, I helped this guy, which was really out of the world question, and I went ahead, and helped us. Is there any scenario you want to talk about?
Well, for me, I always say that I just doing my job to serve the people.
Right.
I don't realize, sometimes I won't realize the work I do or I did how big changes or how much influence on people.
Right.
Like, I give you an example. I remember last year I was making on the news, said there's one constituent will help by me to, because he got transferred some fund from overseas, because going to the wrong account, he won't able to get the money back. And he has been seeking help for almost 1 to 2 years, but no one actually able to help him.
Okay.
For me, I think I just want to help him. I just want to see what I can do with him. I mean, end up the outcome very positive. He managed to get his money.
Wow.
Like, for me, I think it's something. It's an example that I want to work hard to help people in my electorate. But on the other hand, the news thing is a big thing.
Right.
So end up I was on the news for a few days because they said, oh, Carlos have been helping that constituent. So if you ask me, is there anything very special or anything I'm very proud of? I will say that I just want to help everyone. And there's no specific case I purposely want to do it so I can make myself famous or make it the headline. It's not like that. But all I understand is everyone come here is because I'm their last resource, and they really want me to help, and I just want to help them. And I think this is what go back to why I want to be an MP, because I can here to help them.
Right. Definitely. Thank you so much for that. Now, if you could change one thing about the way Parliament works, what would it be?
I always say that if I can, I would like to change the culture. Sometimes I think in Parliament, things can go very slow. And like for example, I remember, I understand that if a legislation, people will want to debate on it, have different opinion. That part I completely understand. But some of the legislation, I think, is very straightforward and which is supported by all parties.
Right.
I believe that some of this legislation can be fast-checked. Like, I remember when I first elected, we are talking about one legislation is increase the penalties for someone who park on the disabled car park. Very straightforward.
Right.
And it makes sense. It's a common sense that we don't want people to use disabled car park if they're not disabled.
Right.
But we still need to follow the whole Parliament procedure, which is the first reading, and then go to the public hearing, second reading, and the third reading. And take almost a year to actually pass that legislation. And then you will ask yourself, aren't we can find a way which we can fast-check all this kind of legislation? Because remember, every single legislation we do, we try to change our country. The longer it takes, sometimes it takes too long.
Right.
I think in this country, things take too long to do in this country. And there will be, if there's a way we can actually fast track them, I'll be very grateful. Another thing is as I say, I always tell people, is the language used in the parliament as well. Obviously, I can understand that during a sitting way, both government side and opposite side, they may try to question each other and try to attack each other. But for me, I think the language the language used in the parliament can be different. We don't need to be too aggressive to do that. Like for me, especially during the afternoon period time, when there's a lot of young children were sitting in the public gallery to look how parliaments work, I actually feel this is not the best example we can show to our next generation.
Exactly.
I always tell you that if it's in the evening session, I don't mind both sides actually free fire to each other.
Right.
But I think for the afternoon session, I think sometimes we need to be aware that we got some our next generation are looking at us. On that, I would love to see some of the language or how we present our point differently.
Right.
I think that is something I would love to see as well.
Yeah. Looking forward to we give you all the best that you get that. Yeah. So moving forward, I would like to ask the last question for our podcast.
Sure.
Yeah. So what advice do you have for young people in Mount Roskill who want to build a career in science, business, or politics?
Not only science, business, for everything. I think they need to believe in themselves. They need to believe in themselves and work hard.
Right.
Make sure they continue to work hard for their goal. I think this is the key, because no one can judge you, no one can put you down, no one can say that you can't do it.
Right.
Only yourself. You need to believe in yourself. I can say that people in my electorate are very talented and have some potential. We just need to work hard, stay on track, and I'm sure they can reach success.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Now, one fun fact before we sign off.
Please.
That what is one fun fact about colors who not many people know?
Well, I can tell one fun fact in the parliament. So, you probably, now you're looking at me, you probably realize that I do have a very small eyes. Yes. So I remember when I was first in the parliament, some of my constituents or some of my friends will actually text me and say, "Hey, Carlos, stop sleeping in the house." And I was like, "No, I'm not sleeping. What are you talking about?" So I go back to look at the video. Now I understand why. Because I do have a little bit, my eyes is a little bit small. And when the camera is on that angle, they look into me. So when I look down, I do look like I'm sleeping. So I actually seek advice for some senior MPs. Say, "Hey, on the camera, on the video, I do look like, on the TV, I do look like I'm sleeping. But I'm not. This not look good when people think you're actually sleeping. So what can I do?" And they said, "Oh, well, one thing is, you have some kind of a body movement. So one thing is," they said, "the easier thing is keep nodding."
Right.
So now, so now you can see that sometimes now if you look at parliamentary TV, if you see me, you will see me keep nodding.
Right.
So at least I can tell people I am not sleeping. Like not only nodding, but I think give us some reaction when other people are making a speech or contribution as well. But I think this is one of the fun facts. Like people do say that, "Hey, Carlos, you do look like you're sleeping, all the time." And I was like, trust me, if I feel tired, if I want to sleep, I won't stay in the chamber. I will go back to my office. So I think this is one of the fun facts. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was interesting. Now, what is the one message that you want to give to the Webfit News who's watching you right now?
Well, I think if I want to give a message to that is, I think we should. I think I would like to acknowledge the work you guys do, because a lot of times it's much easier for the audience to watch this show or watch this program at home, but they probably don't realize a lot of hard work, a lot of things was working behind the scene as well. So one thing I always talk about with the media is how much we respect our people and the media, all the people working in the sector as well. Without you guys, a lot of information, a lot of news can't be reached out to the people. and I want people in front of the TV or in front of the computer screen to know that the program you're watching, there's actually a lot of effort have been put in, and I think we should all acknowledge all the people working in the media sector.
Thank you so much. It was really great talking to you. Thanks again for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much. I enjoy it.
Thank you. Take care.